Tonight, there are also new reports that the investigation into the investigators of the 2016 Russia probe. That is heating up as well. A former FBI official is under investigation for fudging a FISA document related to the surveillance of Trump's 2016 campaign. Justice Department Inspector General Michael Horowitz has reportedly found evidence that the official manipulated the document as part of what the FBI's FISA court warrant application to surveil Trump's former campaign advisor Carter Page. Horowitz's report, which is set to be released on December 9th, could shed light on why U.S. Attorney John Durham's investigation into the FBI and the DOJ and possible misconduct has now become a criminal inquiry. Let's welcome in our panel of experts now to weigh in on this. Former FBI agent and former Navy SEAL. He's also the author of the book Sheep No More. Johnathan Gilliam's here with us. Also with us, former Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clarke. Gentlemen, great to see you both.
Great to be here.
I know both of you think this is a BFD, a big deal, to say the least. But when Pete Bharara, the former U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York, goes on CNN and also says it's a pretty big deal, we should probably pay attention. Here he was on CNN.
If there was an FBI agent sworn to uphold the Constitution who can be proven to have altered a document in connection with a legal proceeding, including the obtaining of a FISA warrant, that's really serious. It doesn't get a lot more serious than that.
Now, John, how will this play into the Inspector General's report as a whole and the coming report and investigation that John Durham is working on?
Well, here's the problem I have with the report, and I'd love to get the sheriff's take on this as well, because there is no other criminal or no other case in the world besides, or in the United States, besides when you're dealing with politicians or executives in the federal government, where they're going to do a report. And then and the report is going to be done without any authority to charge these people. So I'm just very hesitant on anything that Horowitz is going to do, because it's most likely not going to lead to anything. If we had 7 or 10 civilians that had shown the exact type of conspiracy that these individuals at the top of the FBI, in politics, some people in media, have come together and try to overthrow the government or overthrow the president or an election, those people would be considered a conspiracy, and the full blunt burden of the United States prosecutorial authority would be upon those people right now. And that's the problem. I'm really afraid that nothing is going to come out of this.
This is a different system, Sheriff Clarke. What do you think?
No, I agree wholeheartedly. Look, I'm not interested in this report any more than I was interested in Mueller's report when he was going to release that. The only thing I'm interested in is criminal indictments. This is very serious. When you apply for a wiretap, you apply for a search warrant, it doesn't get any more serious than that. And you have to be truthful. As a matter of fact, you as the officer involved have to swear to an affidavit that what you are testifying to in front of that judge is true and correct to the best of your knowledge, so help you God. If I'm the FISA judge, this is one of the problems with the FISA system, it's shrouded in too much secrecy. If I'm the FISA judge and I found this out, I'd be mad as heck. If a local cop went in and fudged the report and changed information and didn't give the issuing judge all the information to the best of his knowledge, not only would he be fired, he'd be criminally charged, he'd go to prison. I want indictments out of this to show others and to punish these people, but to show others this was some serious stuff. A wiretap for a presidential campaign? Are you kidding me? The judge should have put the brakes on it if he was given the whole truth.
Right, and this was really the genesis of a lot of that investigation. What led to everything we've learned about so far would be somewhat surprising if criminal charges did not result from this, but we'll see what comes of it. All right, let's talk about Attorney General William Barr. He's weighing in on the Epstein case after these 2 correctional officers who were responsible for guarding Epstein were charged with falsifying prison records this week. Barr told the Associated Press, quote, "I can understand people whose minds went to sort of the worst case scenario because it was a perfect storm of screw-ups." Barr also took some of the wind out of the sails of those who are still saying that Jeffrey Epstein was murdered as a homicide, but Barr says the evidence proves that Epstein did, in fact, kill himself. Johnathan, are you buying this from the Attorney General?
No, and I'll tell you why. Because let's say Jeffrey Epstein actually hung himself, but let's say that he did it because he knew he was going to be killed. And he just took the easy way out. There is no doubt in my mind that Jeffrey Epstein was part of a larger, either a criminal enterprise or some type of intelligence organization, because the way that that house was wired, the people that were there, the videos that they potentially, and the sound bites that they have, they could have jammed up the majority of world leaders in this country that have any power whatsoever. So if I was him and I was put in that predicament, I would have done the same thing because I knew I was going to be killed. So now you're just going to say that, oh, you know, Jeffrey Epstein killed himself, we're done with it. That cannot take place. Again, it's another part of the judicial system that's happening in the federal government that would never happen on the local level.
Sheriff Clarke, you obviously have spent a lot of time inside correctional institutions and facilities. What do you think about the possibility that somebody may have gotten into there and killed Jeffrey Epstein? The Attorney General says it's not possible. The chief, the head of all of the Federal Bureau of Prisons, says it's not possible. What do you think?
Well, from the aspect of possibility, look, anything's possible. But, you know, William Barr seems to be a straight up guy to me. He knows all of the information here. I'm not privy to all the reports, all the interviews that went on, and all the evidence in that facility. I know it doesn't pass a smell test, but these types of things are ripe for conspiracy theorists. Sometimes it's exploited by people to make money, write books. You can keep running them with this thing for 10, 15 years and make money off of it. So until, you know, we find out more about what went on, I just find it hard to believe that these prison guards or you know, corrections officers were involved in that. I believe, and I agree that Epstein, he was a very shady character. He had a lot of tentacles in a lot of powerful people. But unless I have more information, it's going to be hard for me to believe anything other than what William Barr is saying at this time.
Yeah, you hope the investigation into this is released to the public and we all get the information we didn't know, because what really is sad about this is that Jeffrey Epstein is not here right now to face justice for what he's accused of doing, and that's sex trafficking, one of the worst crimes on the planet. All right, last topic, 2 minutes left, gentlemen. 2020 hopeful Elizabeth Warren has a plan for everything. We hear about this a lot, but she's never been shy about pushing her very far-left policies. But here she was during the debate on Wednesday where she was asked about border security. Let's play a clip and get your reaction.
You've said that the border wall that President Trump has proposed is, quote, a monument to hate and division. Would you ask taxpayers to pay to take down any part of the wall on the nation's southern border?
So, if there are parts of the wall that are not useful in our defense, of course we should do it.
Well, Sheriff Clarke, at least she hesitated. I mean, but, you know, taxpayer dollars to tear down part of the wall. What's your take?
Look, this is just an impulsive outburst by her. There's an old saying that says, before you tear down a fence, you better take the time to figure out and determine why it was put up in the first place. This is based on data and research from experts in the field that said these are vulnerable gaps in our border security along the southern border, and that's why it went up. I can't believe that she'd make a statement like this, but it's not unlike Liz Warren.
Well, she's got to try and win the primary. She's trying to appeal to that base, John.
I challenge Elizabeth Warren and any of these other leftists in Congress to go down there without their security, take a sleeping bag, and camp out down there in the wilderness, right down there next to where the border is, and see what happens. Let them see if they don't come out of there alive, killed, or kidnapped, because it's dangerous. And the amount of drugs that are going over there, it's a ridiculous amount. She's a liar, and this is just another one of these leftist campaign tricks. But this type of jargon is dangerous.
Yeah, especially when you consider what's happening now there south of the border. You have full-on war going on between the Mexican government and these cartels. It's scary stuff, and a good reminder why we do need border security. Former Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clarke, great to see you as always. Former FBI agent, Navy SEAL Johnathan, Gillium, great talking to you as always, and thanks for filling in for our friend John Cardillo on America Talks Live today. Great job, John. You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing news channel, now in 65 million homes. Get Newsmax TV on all the major cable systems, or go to newsmaxtv.com and click on the Find Newsmax tab to locate us. Remember, Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.